I don't like when people predict online how a movie will do in Rotten Tomatoes or even with money, and when they're wrong, there are never consequences. This year, that changes. For those who are new in my small channel, my name is Tony Brito. I like to talk about movies, and sometimes I like to predict how a movie will do. For instance, in my Avatar Fire and Ash spoiler review, I said that the movie probably was going to be a huge success, and the film ended up being a huge hit. So I told my friend Kevin that I want to make a predictions videos about the huge movies that are coming out in 2026. And he was like, okay, but what if you're wrong? And I was like, what do you mean by that? So he told me, what if you make some punishments? For instance, going bald, or something that might ruin my channel's reputation, like putting sex toys in the background of my videos for an entire year, or something more permanent for an entire life, like getting a tattoo that says that my favorite director of all time, the guy you're seeing on screen, sucks. So welcome to Hit by the Flop. I'm going to bet in favor or against a lot of huge movies that are coming out in 2026 related to the critical and financial reception. But well, how do we measure these things? Well, very simple. By the tomato meter, or a lot of people call it a Rotten Tomato score, or the domestic box office on opening weekend. If I'm wrong on either one, I get hit by a punishment. So I'm going to measure that on the first Monday of the film's release. Now, I'm not going to give a specific number to this. Of course, it's going to be a range or more of a threshold, like 75% or more, or 45% or less. How do I win? Well, very simple. I have to be right on both things for each movie. What happens if I win? You give me a like. That's it. Let's start with the first bet. Scream 7, releasing on February 27. This film already has a lot of controversy behind it. The director Kevin Williamson has only directed a film before, and this was its Rotten Tomatoes score. That being said, he's not lacking talent. He wrote the original Scream, so that's cool, but I don't think this movie will be good. I know a lot of people are also excited because Neve Campbell is coming back, and also the guy from Scooby-Doo, but I also think there's enough people angry at this franchise, or at least at the studio, for what they did to the main actress and the main character of Scream 5 and Scream 6, who was the new main character of this franchise, and it was great, but because of some political stuff that she said and stuff like that, she was fired. I'm also one of those who looks at Scream and being like, yeah, that studio that made that film, ugh. There's already that rage, but there's also some excitement. So I will say that when it's about the opening weekend predictions, I think the critical reception will be like 47% or less on Rotten Tomatoes. I tried to compare it to the other Scream movies, and apparently the lowest is Scream 3. When it's about the domestic box office, I also will bet against this movie 20 million or less, for all those reasons that I already talked about. But now, what's the punishment? Get my ear pierced and record a video wearing it. I never thought I would ever do a ear piercing. I don't want to do it. I really don't, and I want to be right on this. So maybe it's a bad idea. I should have made a safer bet. But yeah, I'm going to show you when I get my ear pierced. Yeah, I'm going to record a review or something with that. That's the punishment, and that's the first film. Project Hail Mary, releasing on March 20th. This film, it's kind of a wild card. Phil Lord and Chris Miller have done incredible movies before, and most of them have been huge hits. That being said, most of them are also part of a big IP, like Lego or Spider-Man, but also the critical response to those movies have been huge. That being said, these trailers haven't impressed me all that much. If I try to defend the marketing, they are trying to hide a lot of things, and you can tell. A lot of jokes, a lot of dialogue, a lot of story and shit. But yeah, I'm not that excited about this movie because the trailers and the marketing haven't been that strong, honestly. If it is financially successful, it will be because people really loved it. It has to be exceptional. If it isn't, and it is just a very good movie, I don't think it will make that much money, but I really don't know what will happen here. My opening weekend predictions is 75% or higher, and the domestic box office $110 million or less. I'm trying to be kind of calm with this one because I really don't know how it's going to go when it's about at least the money. And when it's about the punishment, guys, I want you to know that I really don't want to do any of these punishments. I genuinely don't want to, okay? The next one, guys, I have a day job. I cannot do this thing. Dye my hair like Ken from Barbie, with that same color and that same aesthetic. If I can, I think color will be enough. Please, Hail Mary, help me. Shit, I remember now the punishment on the next one. The Super Mario Galaxy movie releasing on April 3rd. Yeah, the previous one was a huge success. When it's about the critical reception though, that's kind of different. It actually opened with 46% on Rotten Tomatoes and then it got to 59%. Right now it's holding like that. I will say that this next film will be similar and when it's about money, it will make banks. So opening weekend predictions, critical reception 50% or lower, and the domestic box office will be $140 million or more. That is similar to how the first one performed. Yeah, this will be a success, definitely. I don't say I will perform less because if it does, the punishment will be destroy one of my Mario Galaxy copies. Audience will choose which one. I adore these games. These are my favorite Mario 3D games ever. Like, I have so much nostalgia with them and I really don't want any of it to be destroyed. Any of them. I don't know which one I prefer actually. I love both as equal. So you will choose. I will make a poll and you will choose if I would destroy the Super Mario Galaxy game or the Super Mario Galaxy 2 game, or if you're an asshole, both. So I expect you to not be an asshole, please. Please. Just choose one. I don't care which one. Well, I do care, but fuck. Please don't underperform Mario Galaxy movie that will be extremely mediocre probably as the first one. I'm going to leave this here so I remember and you remember what's at stakes. Michael, releasing on April 24th. This film is directed by Antoine Fuqua, who is a good director sometimes, although when it's about the critical reception of his films, most of them are mixed. He's kind of a very mixed director, although I like a lot of those movies. It doesn't matter if I like it. The important thing is, how will critics think about Michael? Well, I think it will be kind of mixed because a lot of musical biopics are also received mixedly, like Bohemian Rhapsody, for instance. I don't think this will be different. That being said, is Michael fucking Jackson. This is, I think, the first big feature film about him. I'm almost positive, and he's a big thing. So this movie will make bank. And the marketing has already started and it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a marketing. It's enough to get people excited about watching a Michael Jackson movie about a guy who doesn't look like Michael Jackson or has an extremely distracting nose, whatever. That doesn't matter. The critical reception will be 65% or lower and the domestic box office will be $130 million or more. Michael, yeah, please don't let me down, because the punishment will be making Michael Jackson noises during 3 on-screen videos. Like I said, I'm going to review a random movie, or I'm going to talk about movies, whatever, for about 3 videos. I'm going to suddenly make or now, this doesn't sound that bad, right? It's worse. The previous punishments are worse. But I have to let you know something. This is a very small channel, okay? There's always new people watching my videos who don't have any context sometimes of things like that. These people will not know what is hit by the flop. So they will enter one of my videos, the review of Masters of the Universe, and I will be making all like, and people will be like, this guy is a fucking weirdo. The stakes here are also very high. It's a small channel. I'm already putting it on the bankruptcy because of these fucking punishments. So those are the bets on the first 4 films of the year. When it's about the rest of the films that are coming out, I still don't have the exact predictions. I do have the punishments, which I'm going to talk about them here. But when it's about the predictions, I'm going to announce them before each season starts. For instance, before the summer season of films start, I'm going to announce the exact predictions of the films that are coming out that season. And probably on April. When it's about the winter season, I'm going to announce them on November. Okay, so let's start with the first summer film, and that's The Mandalorian and Grogu, releasing on May 22nd. I really don't know how this movie will do, but I really don't care about watching that. It really looks extremely mediocre, like a Disney Plus movie that is coming out in theaters. Whatever. The punishment, though, fuck. To give you context before I tell you the punishment, Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker is the film that has angered me the most. I talked about that in my review of that film. I hate it, okay? That's everything you need to know. The punishment is set my Episode 9 review on private and replace it with a new one praising the film as the best Star Wars film ever made until May the 4th of 2027. I have to genuinely convince people that I adore Episode 9. That is the best Star Wars movie ever made. Okay, I genuinely have to do it. So for a year, a lot of people will think that I adore that movie, and I cannot say anything wrong about that film in any other video, okay? If I mentioned Episode 9, I had to praise it. Fucking Episode 9 still haunts the fucking return of Palpatine, goddammit. Scary Movie 6, releasing on June 12th. I'm genuinely excited by this one. I adore the Wayans and I adore the scary movies, at least from the first one to the third one. The fourth one is not that bad. And The Punishment is very interesting though. It's the one punishment that genuinely gets me excited, but at the same time, also very nervous because I don't believe in this stuff. But if it is true, I will suffer a lot and I will be cursed for the entire life. So the punishment will be playing with a Ouija board. Yeah, play Ouija, basically. And alone, okay? Alone, probably a cameraman or something like that, you know, for if something happens. In a dark place or something, you know. I've never played Ouija. I've always been curious about playing Ouija, but at the same time, I've never played for a reason. So if you believe in that stuff, shit, I have to be right about that movie. A movie that I'm genuinely not excited about, Toy Story 5, June 19th. Toy Story 5. The punishment, keep sex toys visible in the background of my videos for an entire year. Yeah, this background. Fuck. That's a good one. That YouTube might report me or might take down one of my videos or all of the videos that a dildo is behind. Of course, if that happens, if it starts to happen and YouTube kind of like prohibits this kind of stuff, I will replace it with a sex toy that is not that visibly sexy, erotic. Yeah, I have to be careful with this punishment. But the first video, I'm going to genuinely upload a dildo or something like that here. And then if YouTube kind of like takes down my video, I'm going to lower that punishment. But still, I'm going to do it. No matter if this is going to be just like the balls or those things or 50 Shades, it's going to be there. So trust me. Supergirl, June 26th. I really don't know. I don't think this movie will be that successful. I'm telling you that already. I'm already spoiling the prediction. But that's what I think. Maybe when April hits, I'm going to look at that movie differently. I'm going to be The punishment is wearing a bra and a skirt in 3 videos. Moana, the remake, releasing on July 10th. The punishment, binge watch 3 bad Disney remakes. I don't like even the Disney remakes that have been well received, and I have to watch the ones that haven't been well received. For instance, Snow White. And I will have to binge watch 3 films in one sitting. Of course, I'm going to record my reaction. The Odyssey, releasing on July 17th. The Odyssey. Oh my god, this is my most anticipated film of the year by my favorite director of all time, about a poem related to Greek mythology, which is something that I'm very close to, which I want to talk about later on in other videos. This has to be great, because if it isn't, the punishment will be getting a Nolan Sucks tattoo. I don't want to be hit by that punishment. I've never wanted to make a tattoo on my body. I don't know, I just don't like tattoos. That simple. But getting a tattoo saying that my favorite director, my biggest inspiration in life, sucks, I will genuinely question myself. If I do that, I will question myself, what the fuck am I doing? It won't be in the forehead. It will be like in the cheek or something. I don't know. I don't know. Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 31st. Really excited about this movie. I guess this film will do good, but the punishment, change my channel and social media accounts to Peter Parker for a month. Again, this might not sound that bad, but I have to repeat this. My channel is very small. I cannot jeopardize it by stuff like that. Okay? I cannot change my channel to Peter Parker. And of course, on my channel's photo, I'm going to put the face of Peter Parker. Why not? You have to know how serious this is, guys. Still, whatever. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as Nolan Sucks tattoo. Now we are going to the winter movies. Why I'm skipping fall and all these months? Well, because I really don't have any movies that I'm interested in predicting, you know? In between those months, in October, November, August, September. And probably there are some movies I haven't talked to you about in the summer season or in the first months of the year, because I'm not interested in predicting those. That being said though, this opens a door for you to write on the comments a movie that I haven't announced in Hit by the Flop. For instance, if you want me to predict Mortal Kombat, you will also have to put the punishment that will have to be hit by. So that's up to you. If you want me to predict a movie that I haven't put on this list and you give me a great punishment, I will probably announce it in another video. But let's talk about the winter season, because this will be very exciting. This will be very different because it won't be about how each movie will do when it's about the critical and financial response. It will be more about which movie will win, because there are just two movies I'm interested when it's about this winter. And those are Avengers Doomsday and Doom Part 3. Yeah, this is a competition which I will call the Dunesday Bet. So when it's about the Dunesday Bet, which one will win the box office, which one will win the critics' love, which one will have the best critical response, you know? But I'm going to announce that on November. When it's about the punishment, well, because the Lisa Gaif himself, Timothy Chalamet, looks like Lex Luthor, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get bold. I love my hair, guys. I don't want to cut my hair. And when I mean that I'm going to cut my hair, I mean I'm going to cut my hair like Walter White on Breaking Bad, you know? Because there's not going to be a single hair on this head. Yeah, that's the last bet. That's the hit by the flop of 2026, guys. If you're interested in know how this will go, please subscribe, because it will be very excited. Like I said, I will laugh probably, but I will also suffer, and I will laugh even more when you give me a like, because you have to give me a like if I win. But you have to check in a lot of videos, because there will be a random movie I'm talking about that at the end of the video I'm going to announce something, an update about this game. So yeah, that's hit by the flop, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you will enjoy it for the rest of the year. As always, thank you for watching and take care of your time.